Good morning. It's another weekend. Hope everybody is doing great. As you can see in the background, no clouds in the sky. Beautiful morning. I'd say it's probably in the mid to high 60s Fahrenheit. Really nice. You can hear birds chirping in the background, but enough of me and enough of that. Let me show you our progress on the garden. Okay, as you can see, my parsley's going to town. My wife, she's like, how are we going to harvest that? And I looked it up, and what we could do is we can take the parsley and either keep it in the leaves or cut them a little bit. Then you put them in the oven at like 100 and I thought it said 190. I'll have to double check. Maybe like 120 degrees for 20 minutes. You take it out, you move it around, and if it's dry, you're done. If not, you can put it back in. I would do like 10-minute increments in the oven, take it out, see if it's dried to your liking, and then when it's completely dried, that's when you're going to get a container to store it in. Parsley's really good for soups. We like making chicken noodle soup and putting some in it after we've got it cooked. It's really nice. This guy, I need to cut it back. I need to cut it back to like right there. Sorry. Get it into frame. But this is the cilantro, and you can see it's going to town. Looks like it has little berries on it. Do you see those? Weird. First time growing it. Now my hand smells like cilantro. And then chives, they're starting to come back looking really good. Ooh. Now, my cherry tomatoes got a lot of flowers on it. But what I've noticed is you get one or two nice sized cherry tomatoes, but then you get all these little bitty babies that never really mature. So I'm wondering if I need to pick those off because they're not going to get any bigger. I don't know. I don't know if I'm happy with this brand. What I got was Husky Cherry. And maybe they'll get bigger as it gets warmer, and I'll have more berries that are bigger. Right now it could be too cool for it. It says down here, plant. Okay, it doesn't say. Okay, there. Light, full sunlight. You need to have full 6 hours plus sunlight. And, yeah. That's pretty much all it really tells you. But anyway, we'll see how that progresses. I put in some feeding sticks, fertilizer sticks into the ground on both sides. It says not to refeed it. Here's a bunch right there. Not to refeed it for 8 weeks. The cilantro here is doing really well. Take off some of this dead stuff. It's doing really well. It's probably doubled in size after we bought it, and it's pretty sturdy. Doing really well. Look at our radishes. They're really coming up now. I think maybe in here we dug a little bit too deep, maybe. But I see some rising right there in the soil, so I bet they'll be popping up here in no time. But radishes seem to be doing really well. Now, oops, almost fell over. Do you like our little hose job? Whatever works, right? Here's our pool. What's funny is my son's dog comes out every morning or every day, and he comes right over to our floater, and he starts barking at it hysterically, like it's some sort of intruder that he needs to defend us from. It's pretty hilarious. And our zucchini. Good news, it's popped up over here. Excited, excited. And these are looking really nice and big. Really excited about those. And our big early girl, she's doing really well. And what I noticed too is, looky here, it's got a tomato on it. That's a shocker. I didn't even know they had any on them yet. And I just looking around a little bit, that's the only one that I really see. And here's some more blossoms. Sorry, I'm using my phone, so it's not probably the best picture quality. And I had the tomato fertilizer stems that I used, or sticks that I used in that tomato over there. I put in here, I put maybe, I think, 3 in it. So the ground, if you stick your fingers in there, I start feeling cool wetness. It's damp. Maybe down like 1.5 inches, down to where my fingers start getting clean again. So I think it's got plenty of water. What I might do is, depending on whether or not the plant looks kind of wilted, you could kind of tell when you look at the leaves. Here they're out and they look pretty perky. But when everything starts getting pretty dram, or, you know, a little bit wimpy, I'll water it. So tomorrow I might give it some more water. And generally the rule of thumb is, don't water the leaves, only water down in the soil area. And I don't drench it. I just fill this up till it comes up to here, let it settle a little bit, maybe give it just a little bit more water. And then finally, our lemon tree. And it's starting to get greener, which I'm happy about. And I have a viewer, ATC, who says I probably need to feed it, which I agree. I don't have time today, but maybe tomorrow. I put already like 2 or 3 spikes of fertilizer in the ground. It's been a while, so I need to feed it some more. I've got more of those citrus spikes, fertilizers, sorry. And I'll probably put them in the ground, maybe about right here. And I'll probably do 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of give it a good feeding. What's really nice is at nighttime, if you come out near this lemon tree, it smells so good. I don't know if you've ever had the pleasure of going to an orchard of citrus trees, and when they're all in bloom, the fragrance is just so good. Over here we're going to have tons on it. We're probably going to be pruning off a couple of the lemons when they come on, because this plant's still young enough. I want to say it's it could be 3 or 4 years old by now. It's going to be a dwarf tree. It's not a big, huge citrus tree. But I think we got that purposely because we have a nice corner here for it to be in. But I didn't want something too out of control. And I think that's why we went. If you look at the base of it, it's a pretty thick base. I'd say it's about 2 inches. Maybe, yeah, 2.5. Then here we're getting some nice dark leaves coming out. So anyway, we're going to take these off too and restring other branches that we think need to build in some support into their branches. But anyway, that's our lemon tree. Gardening is so relaxing, and for me it's really fulfilling. Try to get in the shade here. I love planting it, taking care of it, and seeing it grow and seeing it produce. It's just like being having a family. But I really enjoy trying to create new plant life, and I kind of wish I had a bigger space, because I remember growing up being able to have rows of green beans and rows of tomatoes, and then when it became harvest time, you'd take all that, harvest it, and my mom and I would put them up into canning jars for us to have throughout the whole year. And it was so rewarding. Out here in Arizona, I don't have that luxury where I live. So you try to make do how you can. And this year we're doing raised beds and containers. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.